Hey all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West, more specifically the historic town of Keystone, South Dakota. And here I was looking for something to see. And one thing I love, wax museums. And I haven't been in a good wax museum in a long time, so I'm stopping off here at the National Presidential Wax Museum. We're going to take a look inside. Follow me. Check this out, they actually have George W. Bush from the election where he was originally elected. That was the 2000 election. And they actually have a very angry looking Gore here, and he's pointing his finger probably at the Supreme Court. He's got a band-aid there. Alright, the sign says this is Felix. I don't know if Felix was a president. There was no president named Felix, right? You're leaving me out on a ledge here. I'm confused. I guess we'll start with the current president, the non-controversial Donald J. Trump. And that is actually, I will say, the best Trump I have ever seen as far as wax figures go. A lot of the wax figures I've seen look really, really sketchy, but fair enough. His hair seems to be difficult to get right, which is understandable given, you know, what his hair looks like in reality. He's always giving this double thumbs up pose. Is that actually something he does? I forget. He should be doing that like Cobra, you're fired thing with his hand. There's some like busts in here. I guess this is like part of the process of how they make the figures. What I really like here is caveman Lincoln with one eye open. Here is Obama. He uses his hope poster over here, and interesting enough, I guess his other legacy is the healthcare.gov, the Obamacare. I guess this is like a kit used to make wax teeth. It's a wax figure manicure kit. They have some life masks and death masks in here. That's Catherine Stuberg. Now, normally I wouldn't know who that is, but actually, because I've made some friends in the wax figure community, I know that she is one of the most beloved and renowned waxed artists of all time. Now, here's our founding fathers doing some serious founding. Here's a little presidential party going on. I'm drinking some punch, and looks like John C. Calhoun is spiking the punch. Now, some of you might say that looks like the figure looks like ghoulish, but that's actually what John C. Calhoun looks like. As a matter of fact, I think the wax figure is probably actually less ghoulish than what he looked like in real life. And here are the unelected presidents. Of course, these guys would all go on to be re-elected, so that they all been elected at some point. Well, except for the elephant in the room over here. Oh, Gerald. Now that's Andrew Jackson right there, and then we have someone that I was not expecting to see in the Presidential Wax Museum. Notorious pirate, Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Now there's a rule here in the Wax Museum. All presidents get a nice display, a nice tableau, unless you die in 30 days. Then you just get put in a box. Sorry, buddy. Sorry you died in 30 days. Sorry, William Henry Harrison. Something about Abe in a white coat. It seems like he should be wearing black. It seems like he was always wearing black in every picture I've ever seen of him. Civil War over. If only they could see us now. Yeah, this is South Dakota, so I guess they incorporate a little bit of their local history. That's General Custer. This is a pretty cool and unique tableau. We have Thomas Edison sitting over here, and then President Hayes talking on the telephone. And who's on the other end of the telephone? None other than Alexander Graham Bell. Hoy hoy. Here's a nice little scene of Grover Cleveland getting married in the White House. And here's Teddy Roosevelt kicking it back. Pure Teddy Roosevelt style. With a bunch of dead animals hanging above his head. Actually, these heads in the boxes remind me a little bit of Return to Oz, where the witch has all the heads collected. I guess that would be like if she was an evil president. She had all the president's heads and wanted to be able to switch which president. I'm just talking a bunch of nonsense. Now here's President Taft, the only president to serve on the Supreme Court. Also the only president to get stuck in a bathtub. There's smiley old Ronald Reagan. Oh, he's in Moscow. I guess he's meeting here with his good old buddy Gorbachev. I guess you can kind of see like what it looked like before and what it looked like after. Here we have Winston Churchill, FDR, one of my faves, and then Stalin. It's a 9/11 scene with George W. Bush. Got a firefighter there. No, it's Eleanor Roosevelt. What do you think about that military-industrial complex, buddy? Okay, I think this might be my favorite display here. We have JFK up here. He's got a coconut on his desk. I'm not sure what that's all about. But he's sitting here trying to do president work. But that little rascal, JFK Jr., is trouncing around under the desk with a pencil and a piece of spearmint gum. Wow, this is actually a little alarming, but very poignant. We have LBJ being sworn in here right next to Jackie Kennedy, and as we know, she's wearing the same outfit she was wearing when her husband was shot. Actually included the blood stains on her from the execution of her husband. There's Nixon, I guess he's talking to the astronauts who are in their quarantine box back before we knew that there was no such thing as space germs. Good old Jimmy. There's Bill Clinton here. Look, he's even got a sweet little picture of his wife on his desk, thinking about her while he's at work. For what it's worth, we finish off with George W. Bush, Bush Sr. Alright, and that was the National Presidential Wax Museum. I must say I was very impressed. There's different kinds of wax museums, different kinds of wax museums to appreciate. I love the old wax museums with the disheveled figures and the wacky displays. This is extremely well done. Figures look nice. They're obviously very well taken care of. And I liked the choice of the displays was very interesting. It wasn't just like this president, this president, this president. It was like important points in presidential history being made into tableaus. So awesome, check it out. If you guys like these videos, please check down below. I have an interactive map that shows you all the different locations I visited. If you want to support the channel, I sell t-shirts. Link is in the description. And then also, if you would like to donate on Patreon, $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month. For now, this one's in the bag. I died in 30 days.